Okay, guys, today is Thursday. That means that we are going to spend about 1 hour in a romantic stream. I'm glad to see all of you guys. Please smash that like button if you're here, and also please let me know where you're from. Drop your country, drop a city where you're right now. We are going to spend this hour talking about EB-1A visa, extraordinary ability. The main topic of today's stream would be basically going through the criteria of EB-1A, understanding that criteria. Also, we're going to be talking about how to build a strong portfolio of evidence for EB-1A, and also how to show that you really achieved something in your professional field, like how to do this. Because as you know, the criteria is not enough, okay? Criteria is only one thing. This is called objective analysis, and when the immigration officer is reviewing your petition, they have 3 stages of analysis, okay? And we're going to be talking about this too. But before that, let's talk about recent approvals. And you guys know, Fix My Books, hello, glad to see you here. Drip is from Saudi Arabia. Very good. Actually, we do not have yet clients from Saudi Arabia. So we would love to have people from Saudi Arabia, because I know for a fact that there are talented people, there are good business people and investors, and there's a lot of capital going on. So that would be great. Hello, Gabriela. I'm glad to see you here. So guys, let's warm up a little bit and see what happened in June, because today is July the 6th, and of course every time we are going into the new month, we want to see what happened in the previous month. And I'm gonna give you some statistic of my company, of my corporation. And you already know that Stanislav and his corporation, Shamayev Business Law, I do believe is the most transparent company on the whole immigration field. Okay? Why? Well, because we are discussing our cases, we're discussing approvals, we're discussing denials, we're giving you the statistics, we're giving you the analytics from our company, we tell you how many clients are working with us right now. And all this, nobody's doing this. Guys, let's admit it, no one is doing this. Why? Well, because, I don't know why, my best guess is that the numbers are much lower than ours, and there's nothing to talk about. That's my best guess. Also, probably not everyone has the processes that we developed in the company that brings us to 90% plus of approvals of your petitions. Okay, so let's bring some statistics. In June, we filed 41 cases. I think regarding the visas, this was the best month in the history of my corporation. All right, so 41 cases, and we got only 4 denials. All right, so Stanislav, where are you getting your statistics? There we go. That's our statistic for the month of June. 41 petitions, 4 denials. So more than 90% approval rate. Okay? And of course, we look at the year, we look annually, we look at the whole history of the company. So that's where we're getting the statistics of 90% plus approval rate. All right, there you go, the fresh statistic from June. So let's talk also for the June. We signed up also. I think it was one of the best months in the whole corporation history. We signed up 48 new clients. Okay, why am I saying this, guys? Well, because this shows you that we get the trust of other people. All right, and by other analytics, more than 80% of people who get in contact with our company and those who I qualify for visa. So if you contacted my company and I qualified you for a visa, I told you, Drip, you have EB-1A, or I said, fix my books, whatever your name is, so you're from Canada, you have E2, for example, right? I see how I can get you this visa. So if these two things happened, 80 to 90% of clients sign up a contract with us. All right? So in June, it was the 48 new clients. Very good. Also, it's important for the purpose of the program that we have in the company. The program is called NEO, and that's where we find the current clients who are in the same category. Let's say EB-1A for engineer, EB-1A for businessman, or EB-1A for beauty industry. So because we have about 250 clients at this point, okay, 250 clients who are currently working with us, we have the categories of the talent. So we find the match between you and some other client who is in the same category, and you guys exchange the expert letters, okay? And guys, no one is doing this. Okay, why? Because they can't. Because first of all, no one has that many clients at the same time, and second of all, you have to have a lot of resources to implement this process. So imagine if you're going with EB-1A visa with my company, with my corporation, you may get up to 4 objective expert testimonies on your case. You will never get it yourself for free. Okay? Yes, if you pay $1,500, $2,000 to the professor in university in the States, maybe you'll get a letter like this. Okay? Multiply by 4, $6,000 to $8,000 to get such letters. Working with us, you can get it for free. All right? So that's why it matters how many clients we have, because if let's say Gabriella is in the beauty industry, okay, and she's a master of permanent makeup, or maybe she's a stylist, or maybe she's a colorist, and by the way, we have green cards on all these categories in the beauty industry. So, and of course, about probably 10 to 15 current clients are in the beauty industry. So once Gabriela starts working with us and we find those 4 good matches for her field, and Gabriela exchanges for expert testimonies with those people. All right, and that happens with every category. So this is, I think, this is one of the biggest advantages of our company on top of everything else. However, I need to make sure that you guys understand that starting July 1st, we have the packages of how much it costs to hire us for each visa. So the program NEO starts with the second package. Okay, so if you're going with EB-1A, the second package is $15,000. So that's when you get the access to this program. The basic, standard price is $12,000, advanced is $15,000, and a premium is $18,000. Okay, and each package has its own benefits for the client. The weaker the case and less time spent possibly on the case, it's the higher package. The stronger the case, the more involvement of the client, the lower the package. So that's the basic of understanding for the packages. So let's talk about some recent approvals in the company. And of course, I will not be able to go all of them in June, because it's just we're going to spend 5 hours on that. Okay, I'm going to tell you about the cases that I think are really important for understanding of how immigration service works. Okay, and I'm going to discuss 2 cases. Case number 1, a client came to us in December of 2022. He is a very famous trainer, coach for martial arts in Russia. Okay, he has a lot of international recognition, but he made a big mistake before coming to us. He started working with unlicensed consultant. All right, and you guys know it. You guys know that immigration field is full with fraud, with imposters, with people who do not have license as an attorney. And if you do not work with a licensed attorney, that means that whoever that person is, first of all, is not qualified, doesn't know what he or she is doing, and most importantly, has no responsibility for your case. Okay? So, guys, please, if you do not work with me, if you do not work with my corporation, please do not hire those people who are not licensed. Work only with licensed lawyers, licensed attorneys, US attorneys, all right? If you don't hire us, I think it's a big mistake, but at least hire a licensed attorney, okay? Never a consultant, never a paralegal, never some helper who's gonna mess you up big time. You're gonna waste time, you're gonna waste money, you're gonna waste a lot of nerve cells. It's not your way, okay? So, but that client did that, okay? His name is Victor. He's openly our client. And he spent 14 months with this person, with a paralegal. They filed the case and they got an RFE. And that RFE, guess how many criteria the immigration officer deemed satisfied out of the 8 that was filed? 0. Okay? So I think this is the manifestation of what I'm saying, because the achievements of this guy were like very good. I cannot say he's like #1. No, he wasn't #1, but he was at the top, okay? And if he came in the beginning to us, there would be no problem. So I looked at the petition that was filed, and it was just a disaster. It was so bad. It was so bad. I understood completely where the immigration officer was coming from. So basically what we did when he hired us, we built his petition from ground zero, as if there was no other petition. And we answered the request for evidence. And I think the 3rd time in my career, we got the second RFE, the second request for evidence. Okay, and we understood that, okay, the office was like, okay, maybe there's something about this guy, but the first impression was so bad, was so negative in the mind of immigration officer that he couldn't approve that response to RFE. So what we did, we basically, while the second RFE was pending, we refiled the case with a different immigration center. Okay. And guess what, guys? Approval with no RFE. Why am I discussing this case with you right now? Well, first of all, the helpers. You cannot work with them, okay? We already mentioned that. But second of all, also very important to understand that EB-1A, OWA, EB-2 National Interest Waiver, NIW, they have a very strong subjective component to them, okay? Something that one officer thinks is not good enough, a different officer may have a different opinion, all right? And what kind of analytics we gather to understand better how immigration officers work? Well, we have lists, we have the tables, the documents, where we collect the data on all our RFEs, and that small number of denials that we have. And we know those officers that have a heightened comprehension of the apprehension of the criteria. Like their subjective analysis is too high, okay? So when we see those officers sending us RFEs, requests for evidence, we recommend our clients to withdraw without answering to the RFE and to refile, okay? So let's say Sanjajav. I hope I pronounced it right. It's a very hard name. Nice to see you. So let's say Sanjajav. I really like this name. It's very hard for me though. So Sanj. Let's call you Sanj. We file. Let's say you're electrical engineer. We file your case. We put 6 criteria in your case, all right? We filed in the Texas Immigration Center. And we get the RFE, maybe with 1 or 0 criteria admitted by the immigration officer, and all the rest are not. And we believe that your case is strong, that it deserves approval without RFE. So first, what we're going to do, we're going to look if the officer who sent the RFE, if he is on a blacklist. Okay? We're going to check this first. Second of all, we're going to see what he didn't like about the petition. Were his requests legal or not? And you guys know, sometimes the immigration officers, for whatever reason, they require illegal things. What means illegal? What illegal means? It means that the requests are not supported by any law or policy. Okay? So, if we see that the officer is not in a blacklist, if we see that his analysis does not comply with current law, current precedent, or current policies, we are going to respond to this RFE. Okay? If we see that he is either in a blacklist or his RFE has some kind of craziness in it, like some, I call those psychedelic RFEs, guys. Sometimes we get psychedelic RFEs. Like when you look at it, you're like, oh my God, like what's going on here? Like nothing makes sense, okay? So that means that something's going on in this officer's head that maybe it's hard to change his mind. So maybe a recommendation to withdraw and refile, okay? And again, why I'm saying this? Because, guys, be ready if you file your case. And please trust our experience. Trust our professionalism. If I come to you and say, hey, Gabriela, hey, Drip, I recommend to withdraw and refile. Yes, you're going to spend more money for the government fee. Okay? We're not going to charge you to refile your case if it's at the stage of RFE. If it was a denial, this is a different story. Okay, there's we give you a big discount. But if we didn't get the response yet, just pay the government fee and we refile your case. Okay? And I was counting from the beginning of the year how many cases we got approval like that. I already lost the count, guys. More than 10 cases. So imagine, more than 10 cases we filed. We got some crazy RFE for whatever reason. We withdraw and we refile. And we get the approval with no RFE. Okay? So very important information, guys. I don't see this information on YouTube at all. No YouTube, no Instagram, no TikTok. No one is talking about it, right? Why aren't they talking about it? I don't know. Maybe because they just don't put too much effort in the cases. And you guys know that we care. Okay? We have 10 departments in the company, 100 people working in my corporation only for one purpose. What's the purpose? To get your approval. Okay? So that's why we do care about our clients. We do care about the process, about your stress level. We're trying to lower it as much as possible. And we worked with you till the end, as long as you guys give us your trust. Okay? If you trust us, if you trust me personally, if you trust my corporation, that's very important for us. We're going to stick with you till the end. Okay? We're not going to drop you. We're not going to leave you. We're going to make sure that we exhaust all remedies before we part our ways. Okay? So I think this is an important message for you. And the second case, a client from Kyrgyzstan. You guys know the country Kyrgyzstan. It's a small country in Asia. It's somewhere next to Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, China, in that region. It's below Russia. So the population, I believe, about 5 million people. Comment in the section if I made a mistake. I think it's 3 to 5 people population of Kyrgyzstan. And we have a businessman from there. And his category was business in logistics. All right? So I think his case was not the strongest. I should admit. Okay? When the case is very strong, I can tell. Okay? Like I can see it from a mile away. Sometimes the cases are not as strong, but because I have a strategy how to make it very strong, the client has to do it. The more of the strategy is being done, the stronger the case. All right? And I think this is another thing that other attorneys don't do, guys. They don't have a strategy of the case. I don't know, how can you draft a good memorandum if you don't know from the beginning what you need in that memorandum? And memorandum is basically the legal argument on your case. When we collect the evidence, the basis for your petition for 5 months working with us by my strategy, and then I take a month to draft a memorandum to compile the whole package, to give it to the designer so she makes it nice and beautiful, brand it, pack it, send it to the USCIS. Okay, 6 months from day 1 till your petition is being sent. Not more than 6 months. So, we worked on his case about 5 months, and he did not do everything that I asked him, but he did the majority of the things. So that's why his case was not as strong as it could be. But nevertheless, it was pretty good. In my book, it had a very high chance of approval. We sent it in April to USCIS, and we get that crazy, one of those crazy RFEs from the officer who is not on the blacklist, but the RFE was like pretty much crazy. Like they did not accept anything, zero criteria. And for you to understand, this guy was one of the few in Kyrgyzstan to develop the logistics for the entire country to connect to the world economy. Basically, they developed the routes, the roads, the infrastructure for big trucks to come in the country and to leave the country. So it's fast and effective. And you know what? I think the subjective analysis of the EB-1 petition is there for the reason, but USCIS is using it for the wrong reason. Okay? They're using it to deny. I think it was meant by Congress actually to use it to approve, not to deny. So we have the guy who basically built logistics of the entire country for the trucking business. Okay? Okay, maybe he didn't have a lot of press, like two or three articles in the press. Maybe he didn't have 10 publications, scientific, like a couple of them. Yes, maybe his awards were not like international, but national. But subjectively, he's one of the top people in the whole country who created this business, this industry. So the officer was wrong. He was clearly wrong about his determination. So we withdraw his petition and refiled in Nebraska. He was like, no, in Texas. He was in Nebraska, we refiled to Texas. The first case was in Texas, we refiled to Nebraska. And guess what? Approval with no RFE. All right? So again, a different officer, different subjective vision, and different result. All right, so I think those two cases were really important, and for you guys to understand how things sometimes are. So don't get sometimes upset if something like this happen in your case. Be ready to push on, to move on. All right. All right, Chris, yes, please ask questions about EB-2 national interest waiver, definitely, because EB-2 NIW, guys, in my book is a talent visa, okay? Because it's so interconnected with the person being a professional and talented that I don't separate them. So, and also, guys, give me more questions, because I can tell you a lot about what's going on with the cases, approvals. We can go by criteria, one by one. It's going to be great material, good theory, but you guys know me. I want value for you. So the value for you is going through the questions. All right, so start dropping your questions about NIW, about O1, about EB-1 name, about what I told you about the subjective criteria in the EB-1 name, because remember, objective, 3 criteria, subjective, overall merits. The officer looks at everything, what he admitted, what he denied. He looks if the person is at the top of the field. This is subjective criteria. And the third one is the benefit to the US. All right? Actually, one of those 4 denials in June was the case once in the blue moon. Okay? Once in the blue moon, where the officer accepted 3 criteria, but he denied the petition on subjective criteria. Okay, subjective criterion is overall merits. He looked at everything and he said, I don't see that the person is at the top of the field. Yes, you have three criteria. Yes, that's right. But I don't see how that satisfies the subjective criterion. And of course, the best remedy is just to refile, because this officer sees it this way, a different officer is going to see it differently. All right. So subjective is very important too. And subjective, guys, by the way, is how artfully your petition is drafted. Okay, it's an art, because this is so subjective from all standpoints, from all points of view. So the way your petition is drafted and how it's compiled, how it's packed, is very important. Okay, if you guys didn't know, we even use a thicker paper. Okay. So most of the attorneys, if not attorneys, just buy the cheapest paper, because one petition could be 500 pages, 1,000 pages. It's expensive, right? It's expensive to buy a good paper. No, we do it differently. We buy the paper that's thick. So when you take it in your hands, it's like, you know, it gives you that sensation like this is important. Okay, so we are not cheap in that case. We putting a lot of resources in your cases, guys. So when the officer gets the package, it's heavy. First of all, it's really heavy because it's twice as of the weight of the regular one, and it feels differently. So we're trying to impress the officer even through the tactile, even the touch of the paper. Okay, so just think how much thought we put in your petitions. All right, let's go by your questions. Chile. Hello, Shamaev. Hello. All of us, we know how it's hard to find an employer in the US. I'm a network admin, but if some employer wants to hire me, he needs to prove, cannot find. Okay, Chile, you are talking about. You're talking about EB-2, EB-3 labor certification, right? Like he needs to prove that he didn't find an employee like that, and U.S. labor market. Yes. So Chile, question a little bit beyond today's discussion, because we're discussing the talent visas, O1, EB-1A, and EB-2 national interest waiver. But I appreciate your question. So we do not help our clients to find an employer because it's a conflict of interest. All right, so we cannot do this by law. And of course, if you bring us an employer, we will do everything possible that your EB-2, EB-3 petition with the labor certification, which is called PERM, it's the same meaning, is going to get approved. Okay, we have a very good experience with that. We know how to compile the prevailing wage. We know how to build a strategy of recruiting, the winning strategy. We know how to file the PERM so it gets approved, and we know how to compile your I-140 form. Okay, so just bring us an employer. Gabriela. When I just started looking into talent visas, it was pretty hard for me to grasp the idea of extraordinary ability. Gabriela, I don't blame you, because it was hard for me, even with the education here in the States, with the legal education. Why? Because if you guys start reading who USCIS deems extraordinary people, Nobel Prize, Grammy, like some crazy Olympic medals and things like that. Of course, when we get a client like that, his petition is going to be this thick, all right? 2 weeks of work, file, approval. Definitely, no problem. But this is maybe up to 5% of our clients who have really like huge recognition, international recognition, okay? We have some businessmen who are globally recognized. We have some marketing people. We have some very good engineers, doctors, neurosurgeons, sport people, like Olympic champions. We do have them, and we love those people. We love to work with them because there's not much work, okay? But 70 to 80% of our clients, Gabriela, and everybody who's watching us right now, just the good professionals in their field. Okay, guys, remember this formula. I will be able to bring you here in the US if you are a good professional in your field, whatever that field is. Okay, of course, I prefer engineers, IT, architects, doctors, surgeons, space engineers, cybersecurity, or art, right? You're like, what? Stanislav, STEM and art? Why? Well, because art gets 2 additional criteria. Okay, we're not gonna spend too much time here, but just know if you're artist, musician, photographer, a model, beauty industry, you have 2 more criteria for your EB-1A. That means we have more facts to use. So if you STEM and or art, your case is very good. But it doesn't mean that we don't get approvals in all other categories: sport, education, business. We have tons and tons of approval for EB-2 National Interest Waiver, for O1 and EB-1A. Okay, so what does it mean, a person with extraordinary ability? This definition has a measurement. What's the measurement? You guys know it. You tell me. The criteria. Okay, that 10 criteria in each visa. Well, O1 is less, EB-1 10, EB-2 National Interest Waiver, it's a little bit different. We have to satisfy all criteria there, but it has a measure. So the more achievements you have, awards, press about you, professional associations, you judge the work of others, you play critical or leading role in a corporation, in an association, in a company with a good reputation, you have a higher salary, or you have scientific publications or contribution in the field. Okay, so all these criteria, we have to use them to measure your talent. Okay, so sometimes, and you know, it's both sides of the spectrum. Sometimes the clients like super with a lot of achievements, like conferences and publications, dissertations and awards and the government awards and just a great experience on projects. They come to me like, oh my God, Stanislav, I don't know, I think I'm not talented. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ. Like, if you are not talented, like who are? Okay, who is talented? Who are those people? All right, so that's one extreme. And the other extreme, sometimes people come with nothing and they just like have such a great opinion about themselves, like, oh, I'm so talented. I'm like, okay, which criteria we satisfy? Oh, I don't know. Okay, so this like these 2 extremes, maybe like 5-10% of people on both sides, but the majority of you, the overwhelming majority, guys, you are good professionals in your field. Okay, and based on how much recognition you have, I will classify you either for O1 or EB-1A or EB-2 NIW. All right. Sometimes I'm going to tell you after complex immigration planning, like Gabriela or Chile. Maybe you're trying to get O1, but I see the case in EB-2 National Interest Waiver. Trust my experience. Trust my analysis. Because guys, I do it all day, every day. I don't do anything else. Okay. I build strategies for your cases, which you then fulfill with the team that leads your case. All right. And if you get me all the requested documents under my strategy, which you know in the beginning, it's not a secret. And you have all the templates, you have examples, you have a NEO program, you have the PR agencies, the contacts of which we give you. So just act, just execute. Okay. That's the secret. All right, I think, Gabriela, I think I killed your question. All right, I destroyed your question. I think you have a very deep understanding of what's extraordinary ability. Are you selling the packages? I'm not selling the packages. I'm just explaining them because we have 3 packages for each visa, depending how strong your case is and how much time you are willing to contribute. So yes, we have them. All the prices are open. You guys may contact my company, and moderator, please drop the links to contact my company, and you can discuss them in details. Right now, we don't have time. Let's go by the questions. Michael Shamayev, what industries would you recommend to us for a talent visa? Michael, I think I already mentioned. I think STEM categories are #1. So IT, coding, programming, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, mathematics, analytics, engineering, doctors, architects. So all those professions, they're really good. Okay. So if you're at the stage like, okay, I want to get education, I'm trying to see which one is the best for the future immigration to the US. Well, go in STEM. Okay, there's no better recommendation. No one will ever get you a better recommendation. STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Okay, so this is the best. Out of those I mentioned, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, space engineering, and blockchain are the best. Okay, so those are very good. Also, business and technology is very good, guys. So if you're a business person, but you make your money on technology, on innovation, really good. It's like a hybrid between business and STEM. I love those petitions. We get approvals of them like this. Bah, bah, bah. The paper thickness is so true, even the size of paper clips. Yes, Michael, you know it. You see, Michael also knows about the thickness of the paper, because I know it from the time when I was helping some attorney to draft the wills and trusts, and he used like a really thick paper, and I was like, why do you use a thick paper for a will? And you guys know what will is, right? When you die, there's a paper where your wealth goes. Your mama, your papa, your family, your lover, whatever that is, right? So, and he said, because it's such an important paper, it's such an important document, that when you take it, when you have to use it, like, you have to understand the seriousness of this process. And that got in my mind so deep that like, we're using it, okay? And it works, guys, and it works. Okay, yes, and even the clip, we use the expensive clips because, you know, it brings this luxury touch to the petition, and all our petitions are branded, okay, with our logo. You guys, our logo. It's like this check the box thing, like bringing the energy. There's a lot of philosophy behind our logo. It's on each petition, and it's recognizable. So when and we know that officers know us. We know it for sure because we have the list of those officers who look at our petitions. So they know our logo. They know our quality of work. So, and we have a very high reputation with those officers, very high, because they know the quality of our work. Chris, I'm an airline experienced pilot. Okay, sounds good. I need to go by exceptional abilities. Okay, we're talking about EB-2. More than 20 years of experience in the field, 12,000 hours total time, salaries above the average. I have FAA, ATP instructor. Chris, I think what you're trying to lead me to is EB-2, National Interest Waiver, in the field as a pilot, right? I know that there is this legend or this rumor, and I talked to a lot of attorneys, and you guys know, last 2 weeks ago, I went to the biggest conference, immigration conference in the field. There's no bigger than that. It's called AILA Annual Conference. And that question was discussed there, and it was like a big hall, a big room with the panel discussing talent visas and national interest. There may be maybe 1,000 of attorneys, and one from the panels, one attorney at the panel, she said, "Okay, guys, raise your hands who got approvals for pilots in EB-2 National Interest Waiver." Guess how many hands were there? Zero. Okay. I kind of knew it. It wasn't a surprise to me. However, don't get upset, Chris. Don't be upset. If you come to us and you bring us all this evidence, or all your experience, we are going to suggest or propose that your proposed project is not a pilot. Your proposed project is an instructor of the pilots. Okay? You feel me, Chris? You feel me? If you feel me, you know what I'm talking about. AAE360. Can you quickly check my situation as a sample? Yes. AA, drop me what you got. Drop me the facts. I'll take a look in the chat, because I won't be able to look. If you're trying to fill out the questionnaire for the free evaluation of your case, then not. It's going to take too much time. Just drop me what you got. I'll take a look. Fix my books. What is the biggest difference between EB-1A and O1? Great question. The biggest difference is no green card and a green card. Okay, I think this is obvious, right? O1 is a non-immigrant visa. EB-1A is an immigrant visa. So getting green card versus not getting green card. But fix my books. If your question goes into the in the legal field, more in the criteria, I have an answer to you too. Also, the evidentiary base for EB-1A is here, for O1 is here. Okay, so the depth and how prestigious your evidence, your achievements are, plays a great role in me determining whether it's O1 or EB-1A. Sometimes when I see the case for EB-1A, for the green card, but the client tells me, Stanislav, or Shamaev, you guys like to call me Shamaev, no problem. Doesn't really matter. I want to get to the States as soon as possible. All right, no problem. Let's get you O1. Let's prepare your case as if it's a green card, but file it as O1. We need to get an employer, right? Or maybe your own company. You come to the States, and then in 3 months, we refile your case for EB-1A, for the green card. Okay? 8 months versus a year and a half. And some of you are like, what? wait, what did you say? So 8 months is the time that will bring you to the States if we're working on O1 visa from the day one you started working with us till you actually enter the US. Okay, so about 8 months. A year and a half if we started working on a green card, EB-1A. All right, so that's why sometimes the strategy is to get O1 and then refile in the States for the green card. Chile, who can apply for a talent visa? Chile, anyone. Absolutely anyone who is, you guys know the mantra, a good professional in the field, in your field, okay? Not just in the field with the flowers, okay? In your professional field, in your sphere of interest, in your sphere of talent, all right? Absolutely anyone. If you guys want to ask me, Stanislav, what's the craziest approval you got for talent visa? Well, for example, a talented presenter, okay? A talented presenter. Who is a presenter? A person who leads an event, okay? You get an event, a wedding, a corporate event, some auction, whatever that is. Maybe some games, I don't know. There's a person who's going to be, who's going to moderate the event, okay? So, guess what? We get a green card approved and already received a person here who is a talented moderator, a talented presenter, okay? Another crazy case. I don't even know this term in English. Space organizer, okay? So a person is talented, like she can come to your apartment, to your house, and she's going to tell, okay, it's all badly organized. It's not effective. here is what you need to do. And she tells you how to organize your furniture, your pictures, whatever, the light and everything. Okay, we get a green card for the person like that. All right. Of course, beauty industry. I think those are also pretty crazy approvals that we get. So the master of the eyelashes, the colorist, who just got a fresh green card for the colorist. If you guys don't know who colorist is the person who dyes your hair. Okay, stylist, another word for that. Yeah, sometimes crazy like that. Of course, all businessmen, businesswomen, scientists, education, that's all also good. All right, guys, we have 15 minutes left, so bring me more questions. Cinema lover. Cinema lover, I love it. Can an Iranian living in Europe apply? Absolutely. I have a PhD and good publications and some years of work experience as electrical engineer. Music to my ears. But I remember Iranians were banned a while ago. No. Cinema lover. It's not about being Iranian, okay? It's about being sanctioned. So if you're just regular Iranian, and I know we have clients from Iran. Okay, we have clients from Iran, it's not about being Iranian. Okay, there's no problem with that, and I know there's a lot of highly educated people in Iran, like you, Cinema lover. I know, like your PhD, you're not alone in Iran. Okay, and it doesn't really matter that you live in Europe. You could even live still in Iran. Okay, that would be no problem, as long as I can satisfy at least 3 criteria out of the 10 for EB-1A. Or maybe in your case, EB-2 national interest waiver would be better. And if you're still doing research, if you want to continue doing research, that in itself could be a proposed endeavor in the US. So make sure you fill out the free evaluation, okay? And moderator, please drop the link to a free evaluation for NIW. Oh, okay, there is a Cinema lover. Below your question, there is one link for EB-1A, and one link for EB2 NIW. Fill out both, okay? Both of them. So I want to see both the questionnaires filled out. And within 48 hours, I'll get back to you. And for free, we'll qualify your case, all right? So make sure you do it. AAE 360, what if the profession belongs to an American platform, like Matterport Professional? I don't know what Matterport is. Even if I can make it better and find its bugs. I don't know what you're talking about. A360. It doesn't matter if your profession belongs to an American platform. It has nothing to do with the criteria, unless we're talking about EB2 national interest waiver, and that platform is a national interest of the states. Okay, then yes, I can see the connection between that. But if it's a talent visa, it's good. We can satisfy the benefit to the states by showing that you're going to continue working for that platform. Chile, how much costs approximately your services? Chile, I'll answer briefly. All immigrant visas, EB-1A and EB-2 national interest waiver starts at 12,000. The first package is at 12,000. The second package, 15,000. The third package, the premium, so it's standard, advanced, 15, and premium, 18,000. Okay. For non-immigrant O1, E2, its standard is 10,000, advanced 13,000, and premium 15,000. Chris, can you give a hint on experienced airline pilots? Chris, I think I already did. Okay, I think I already broke your case down. You gotta be an instructor in EB2 national interest waiver. Fix my books. What if you are an exceptional talent but also run a business? It's good. It's actually great. Would you recommend doing an EB-1A or an E2? Well, EB-1A and E2 is not a common way to compare, because E2 is non-immigrant investment visa, and EB-1A is an extraordinary ability person. So if you a talented business person, I would rather think first about O1, EB-1A, and maybe E2, depending on your circumstances, because I need to see if you have recognition in the field. Okay, fixed my books again. Can you move to the US on an O1 visa and then switch to an EB-1 visa after? Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Not only that you can, but sometimes you even have to. Okay, sometimes you have to do this. Sometimes you have a case for O1, but you need to work more to build up the case for EB-1A. Sometimes, like I said, you want to come to the States faster. All right, that's O1. But definitely, because O1 is a dual intent visa, meaning you can come with the intention to immigrate, absolutely you can switch. Chris, yes, no problem, you're welcome. Drip, is it possible for oil and gas professional? I already like this question. Oil and gas professionals, so we have a lot of approvals in that industry, with only one conference presentation to get NIW approval. Okay, Drip, let's take a step back. EB-2 National Interest Waiver. Yes, it's a talent visa in my book. Yes, conferences is great. Conferences, publications, articles in the press, great projects, good companies where you worked, good education, they are all important. But the all important as a mass, okay, as in the totality of the circumstances, okay, overall, not each single one of them makes a lot of sense. Only looking at them all together, okay? So, if you have only one presentation at the conferences, it's already good. It's already good, but it's not enough for me to understand what's going on in your case, because National Interest Waiver is a program where you use your past experiences, okay, your projects, your education, all your skills and talents in your professional field to show to the US government that you have a proposed project, a proposed endeavor based on your past experiences, including your conferences, right? And your publications. That is in the national interest of the states. Okay? Pretty much all STEM professions are in the national interest. Engineers, IT, PhD, researchers, lab people, mathematicians, physicians, doctors, everybody. Okay? Pretty much all of them in the national interest. So, you need to look in your past experiences, in your past projects, in your companies where you worked, the theme, the topic of your conferences, of your publications, and all that is going to put you in a position, well positioned. Remember the criteria, well positioned, to prove that you will be able to implement your proposed project in the US. So it's all interconnected. Okay, it's NIW is not like, okay, this criterion, that criterion, and this criterion. We're all good. No. EB-2 NIW, we have like 5 to 6 criterion, and I'm not talking about exceptional ability. Okay, guys, don't mix it up. Yes, there is 3 out of 6 in exceptional ability part of EB-2 NIW if we don't have the proper education. As long as we have a good education, bachelor's, 5 years experience, or master's or higher, no exceptional ability needed. Okay, we're past that. So now we're talking about if you're well positioned, based on your experience and projects on all your career, to implement the proposed projects in the US that is in the national interest of the US government. All right, I think I broke it down to atoms for you three. If you still kind of maybe too much terminology, and again, guys, the streams are for those of you, not for the beginners. Okay, definitely not for the beginners. Intermediate or advanced. How can you become intermediate or advanced? Well, you watch my videos on YouTube, you follow me on Instagram, you follow me on TikTok. Yes, TikTok is a little bit entertaining and I'm dancing and la la la, but I still give you the content, okay, in a different form. So make sure you do this, because otherwise it's going to be too much terminology, too much things that you're like, oh my god, what he's talking about. I just don't understand. I don't understand the meaning of the words, okay? Well, guys, guess what? It's the stream is for intermediate and advanced. And I know a lot of you are intermediate and advanced because you guys watch my videos. Okay, no more questions that I see. Guys, the links in the chat. Free evaluation is the first step on your immigration to the US and the first step on your way to work with my corporation. Okay? There is no way around it. Okay? You have the links in the chat for EB-1A and O1 talent visas, free evaluation. Click, fill out the form. Yes, you're going to spend 15 minutes, maybe 20. Give me as much details as you can. Okay? All the details. But within 48 hours, I'll get back to you and I say, Chile, Drip, Chris, fix my books. You'll have a name, I would guess. I see the initial qualification. I see that you have a potential in the case. Okay, let's meet in for complex immigration planning, where I will make the final qualification and I will give you the written strategy for your priority program and a list of documents. Okay, and that process is in two phases. First, you meet with a data manager for an hour. She or he will take all the information from you, put it in the protocol, I analyze it, and when I meet with you, I already have everything that I need. Okay, so no one is doing this among the immigration attorneys. Only we do this. So please do fill out the questionnaire so I could take a look. Otherwise, guys, next Thursday, same time, same place. All right, get ready with your questions. Start thinking about what you're going to ask me, because I want to bring you the value. I'm Stanislav Shamaev, the lawyer of the future. Your future begins here. Good luck.